How's it going, guys? This is Coach Elonzo Harvey here at Rising Dragon MMA. And really quick, I had to come on and talk about the fight Claressa Shields versus Brittany Elkin. Claressa Shields being a boxing world champion, being a gold medalist in the Olympics in boxing, jumping into MMA in the PFL. And I really just don't know why the fight didn't get as much hype in the MMA community as it should have. It was one of those old school striker versus grappler fights, right? So what we have here before I was gonna break it down, doing a fight breakdown for you. But it was a pretty cut and dry, basic fight for you guys. But the main reason I had to come on here, guys, because I had several people hit me up online. Your boy had to come on here and tell you that he was wrong. That's right, I was wrong. I picked Claressa Shields to lose. I was wrong. She proved me wrong. She fought Brittany Elkin, who at the time was 3-6 in MMA. She was a jiu-jitsu brown belt. I felt that she was going to be outmatched, considering that Claressa Shields only trained MMA or grappling, anyways, for about 6 months. All right, so now let me get to this. I want to talk about really quick the the good things she did in the fight, and the bad things that happened in the fight. I believe that she need to work on. All right, before I get negative, let me speak about the good things that Claressa Shields did in the fight. If you haven't seen it, cut now, go watch the fight. And it happened in the 3 rounds, right? So Claressa Shields won in the 3rd round, ultra comeback, ground and pound. So I want to talk about a few things that she did good. Number one, this one might be self-explanatory, and you can be like, Coach, I told you. But I was impressed with her hands, bro. Like, I watched some of her boxing fights to try and get hip to Claressa Shields, and I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't that impressed with her overall boxing skills. With that being said, she only got a few segments to show her stand up as far as MMA is concerned. But in the 2nd round, I believe, when she got up and she threw him straight down the pipe, and they hit with some authority, bro. Let me tell you, they hit with some snap, some pop, all that. Those punches had some oomph behind them, right? And they were clean. When she brought them down the pipe, when she get her confidence with her wrestling, I just think is her striking, her boxing is going to shine more so. So number one, her hands were even better than I thought they would be, because I didn't be honest with you, I didn't give her much credit. Number two, I didn't think either that she came in shape. I knew she was an athlete. I knew she was gonna come in decent shape, but she did a lot of grappling, a lot of bucking, a lot of being on her back. And when she got up, she still brought it. Her strength and conditioning was definitely on that level. Whoever her strength and conditioning coaches was, or whatever she was doing for the fight, as far as cardio and strength and conditioning, she need to keep that up. She did a good job as far as her conditioning itself, because she was on the ground, being held there, but when she got up, she still had some pep in her step. She still had some spring. And I see a lot of strikers, when they make that crossover to MMA, they don't normally have that cardio per se, that grappling cardio and that striking cardio. So number two, man, I was impressed with her strength and conditioning. Number three, all right, yep, number three. Here we go. I was impressed with her mental toughness. Now, you can be like, Coach, she was a box. She's undefeated. She this and that. Bro, but let me tell you, your mental toughness is tested when you in MMA, someone's sitting on top of your chest, got you in mount, and they trying to rain down punches and looking for a submission. Now, granted, Brittany Elkin didn't do nearly as enough damage as she needed to do for the amount of time that she had Claressa on her back. But she didn't panic. Her mental toughness was there. Now, let me take that back. There was I wouldn't say it was panic. It was frustration. I'm gonna get to that. There was a time where she was trying to punch back from the mount. Right. There was a times where she just got frustrated, um, but she didn't panic, bro. I seen a little frustration, and like, man, like this isn't working, kind of deal. But she didn't panic. She stayed composed, and when it was her time to like, oh man, it's my time to come back at you. She had that, man. So her mental fortitude, her mental toughness, all that grit that everybody she kept talking about she was gonna have, that was there. So man, number three, she had that mental toughness that she needed to have, right, to win this fight. All right. So now I'm going to talk about a few things that didn't go too hot, that didn't go too well, that obviously she needs to work on. Everybody knew she was going to need to work on her grappling and her jujitsu. But I'm going to get to jujitsu when I talk about that. At least a stripe on your white belt, jujitsu. Most jujitsu schools, the first thing they teach you is being mounted and learning the umpa, learning how to trap, and try and get that sweep off, trying to get a reversal, right? Trying to roll them over. Even if she couldn't get it off, man, there was times that she had the position. I would at least like to see her try better and fail. She was up against the cage. She could have bucked off the cage. Um, I for the times where she was mounted, man, she obviously just the basics, man. I'm talking about white belt level stuff you learn your first week in jiu-jitsu. Um, I know they're working on the grappling. I think they just need to get her mounted with some girls, put on the boxing gloves, rain down those punches, and learn how to deal with the mount a little, just a little bit better. Number two, you're gonna be like, well, number two thing she needs to work on her clinch. Coach, she's a boxer. I know she needs to work on her clinch. But look, listen to me, man. She was up against the cage, in the clinch, and on the ground. She need to work on a little better. Now, I'm not going to give her a bad grade per se in the clinch because she stuffed the takedown and pulled her up. But a lot of that was strength. But I give her that. She sprawled. She was decent in the clinch. I just wanted to see just a little bit more. Number three, this one might be obvious, but man, she need to work on her kicking defense. Thank God Elkin didn't continue. She threw a bunch of teeps, was coming with the long guard right away, was worried about them heavy hands. She threw one low kick, and she ate it. If she would have threw a few more low kicks, man, God, who knows how the fight would have turned up. She need to work at least. I know she said she's been working on her kicks. Keep that up. I don't need to make her a kickboxer, but she needs to learn how to defend the low kick because that is like the death of every boxer in striking, let alone MMA. So that was, and also so off her back, right in the mount, in the clinch a little bit, right, getting up, right, and she needs to work on kick low kick defense. More all kicking defense, but low kick defense will take the zap out of her. And I put this one last, but it could easily be number one. Is her cage work, man. They're gonna the girls right away gonna take her down, smash her up against the cage, put her back against the cage in the clinch. She needs to practice on spinning people off the cage. It's different from being in the corner with the ropes. She needs to learn how to use that cage walk. She needs to be friendly with that. And she needs to be so good with the cage. Girls would be like, man, I can't take her against the cage because I won't be able to hold her down. It's an extra element she needs to use, work on that cage. So all these things that happen, good or bad, overall, she did what she had to do to pull off this fight. Tremendous comeback, some ground and pound. Now, what I want to say is what I really want to talk about up there, YouTube. Let me know what you think is next. What they're going to do with her next, right? Because she fought someone who was 3-6, right? Eventually, she needs to cut down to 45 because that's where the competition at. I know she struggles making weight, but that's something she's gonna have to put up with. If I believe she fought around 153, 152 in boxing, she's gonna have to get to that 45 eventually. But what do you think is next? I know they need to build her up, but who are they gonna put her up with? Like another 0-1 fighter, a fighter with one or two fights? Um, what do you think? How should the PFL build her up? That's a question for you guys. I want to know your thoughts, your take. What do you do with her now? How do you build her up? Because her goal is to become PFL champ in 2 years. I give her 3 years of MMA training and competing, and she gonna be on that level where she can at least contend with them higher level fighters. That's my opinion. If she trained her jiu-jitsu properly, she trained her grappling, at least her wrestling, her clinch work properly, that's going to just allow her to let them hands fly, and then we're going to see what she's really about. But you guys tell me, what do you think the PFL should do with her next? All right, this is Coach Alonzo Harvey, Rising Dragon MMA. Thanks for stopping by. Let me know what you think they should do with her next. All right, peace.